Hello and welcome back to the channel, my channel, the home of me, the professional filmmaker. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not that, but I am a what would you even call it? I don't know if commentator, reaction person. I'll just say commentator. This is going to be a first installment of a movie review. This time reviewing M3GAN 2.0. There are going to be spoilers in this video, so if you haven't seen the movie and plan to, then don't watch this. But for the rest of us, let's get to, as I said, the first installment of Stevmeister Reviews. So I'll start off by saying I've watched the movie twice already in the theaters, so that'll probably give you a good estimation of my opinion on the movie as a whole. So as I said, there's going to be spoilers. So again, if you haven't seen the movie, then don't watch this. Now I am going to write out. Oh my gosh, earbuds just falling out of nowhere. Now I want to start by saying my reviews. This is the precedent that I'm hopefully going to continue. It's not going to be overly critical. It's mostly going to be the main question I'm asking with the movie is, did I have fun watching it? And that's not gonna mean if it was bad in a lot of regards, but I had some fun, then therefore I think it's a good movie. That's not the case, because you talk about Barbie, for example. They had some fun parts in it. There were some fun scenes. Does that make it a good movie? No, it was a bad movie. So the point being, I'm mostly going to be judging it off of, was I having fun? Was it a fun experience to watch it? And with this movie, it was. Now, I do want to be clear. I'm not going to shy away from critiquing things that I think are of importance to call out. But things that I find trivial that didn't hinder my experience with having fun with the film, I'm not really going to touch on too much. That being said, I would like to start off with the cons. This is a PG. Actually, let me verify. Let me verify. Regal. It is a PG-13 movie. That being said, I wouldn't recommend it to anyone under 18, just due to some adult themes and things like it. And me saying adult, you might automatically think it's this very grotesque or gross thing. It's not even that necessarily. It's just things that, for example, you're not going to talk about fishing with a baby because it's not there, even though there's nothing inherently immoral about fishing. It's just a baby has no concept of fishing, and they don't need to at this point in time. That's what I'm getting at here. There's some things that I wouldn't recommend someone under 18 thinking about very much at this time. There are also a couple things that didn't necessarily add up here and there, like the amount of force that was portrayed on the movie, which it wasn't necessarily realistic, and the speed of some things that didn't appear to be correct. I'm not going to go into too much detail there because I don't want to diminish your experience watching the movie. So those are the couple cons, couple things that I didn't appreciate. People using the Lord's name in vain. I, as a Christian, I don't appreciate that. I don't think that happening completely outlaws me from seeing the movie, but that's a conversation that can be had. Now that we got the cons out of the way, going to talk about what I liked about it. It was so fun. I don't even I'll try to pinpoint like what I liked about it, but it's kind of like a song. Sometimes it's like, man, there's so much happening and it's all really cool, but regardless of the specifics, I just had a great time with this. So this is kind of what the movie's like for me. I did like the first one. I thought it was a really neat idea with the second one to have M3GAN go from being the antagonist in the first one to a kind of an anti-hero, not necessarily, but she's pretty much good in this one. I really like the M3GAN character. She's and I was telling my mom this because I watched with her the second time I watched with her, and the M3GAN character, even though she's a robot, like she's an AI, she's still extra. Like she'll be annoying or like pick on certain people when it's completely not necessary, and even though she's an AI, so I just think it's a funny character anyway. I really liked there's a sequence in the movie. There's a sequence that is probably my favorite in the whole movie, is when they go to this summit. It's like I don't know if it's an AI summit. I can't even remember exactly what it was, but M3GAN has to blend in, and so she wears this costume that someone else was supposed to be wearing, and it just looks really cool. It like lights up, and it looks like it's armor, and especially when she goes into a hallway where she meets up with the main, well, I guess one of the main antagonists, the robot Amelia. When they meet up in this hallway, and it's like lighting up and turning off. I really like some cool lighting effects, and that was cool to have the lights on and off, but to still see her suit lighting up. I thought that was really fun. And I neglected till now to even mention the intro to the movie is crazy. Like, it's really cool. Right? It's kind of like a Captain America type movie. Well, the intro anyway, where right out of the gate, it's people getting beat up and completely destroyed. It opens with the Amelia bot in some facility just going absolute crazy, messing people up, and then allegedly going, would sentient be the word? I don't know, but where she's not taking orders anymore, and like takes out she's talking to the people that were supposed to be controlling her. They're like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And she's looking at the mirror so they can see her, and she's like, "Oh yeah, looks like you're out of time." I don't remember exactly what she said, and then shoots the mirror, I think it was, and then cut to the title screen. It was a great intro. I had a lot of fun with it. And again, this is going back to my grading system, because I can already hear the very critical people, and that's their right to critique stuff that way. I can already hear them saying it's like, "Oh, this flaw in the intro and that flaw, and this doesn't make sense," and that. But I'm thinking it's like, well, I thought it was really fun. I thought it was cool. So what, more for me, I guess. If you don't like the movie, more for me. Yeah, intro was great. Oh, and I will say this, something I appreciate. I'm kind of going all over the place, but if you've seen the movie, then you know what I'm talking about. Nearing the end, when they're in the facility where all those people are working, including Christian, that he's on a call or something, and Katie meets up with, was his name Cooper? What was his name? Okay, his name's Cole, so I was close. They meet up with each other, and they have to figure out how they're gonna outplay the whole swath. Is that the right term? The whole crew of people that are in there, these adult people that could just apprehend them at any point. And my thought when I first saw the movie is like, okay, great. They're going to have Katie, who she knows self-defense now, so they're going to somehow, some way make her beat up a ton of grown men. Yeah, I'm sure that's... And I would have been disappointed if that happened. Not because it wouldn't be a cool action sequence, but because it's not... That's one of the things where I will be kind of critical about it. It's like, not only is this not realistic, but you're setting people up for failure, because hopefully they're not sat here thinking, okay, if I learn self-defense even as a 14-year-old girl, therefore I can beat up anyone. It's like, okay, no. So I'm very glad that they didn't do that. They had to go over to Amelia and turn her on and actually turn her into M3GAN, which was neat. So yeah, I appreciate that fact that was a nice touch, that they didn't do the simple route of, oh yeah, let's just make it, girl power. Let's just make it where the 14-year-old can beat up everyone. It's like, bro, what do we... So I'm very happy they didn't do that. That's the point. The fight sequence... Why is that so hard to say? The fight sequence at the end with Amelia and M3GAN, that was really fun. I will say, I was just thinking about it. I would have liked to have seen Amelia had a bit more of an upper hand against M3GAN, to be therefore a bit more of a formidable foe, especially considering M3GAN was already beat up a little bit. That said, M3GAN had existed for a lot longer of a time, so maybe she had just learned to fight better because of her experience, so therefore it was a pretty even match. That said, she basically had, like, Amelia essentially had beaten M3GAN by the end, so I guess it's kind of... but that's, it was still a really fun fight scene. And I will say it does mean more when someone is officially, taken off the board. So there's the EMP near the end, and we thought M3GAN was gone. As I said, it means more when they are actually gone. But I do appreciate that she wasn't, because she is a system, like a computer. So why wouldn't she be able to exist within another form of technology? And on that note, I thought it was cool. The Gemma had the chip in her head at one point, which meant M3GAN could talk to her. My thought, is it still focused? Better me. The first thing that came to mind when she was doing the AI thing was Master Chief and Cortana. So I was like, oh, that's really cool. Like, imagine the ability to just, hey, like, you don't even have to go on your phone and look it up or whatever. Not that takes much effort, but just like, hey, find me the nearest location for whatever. That was really fun. I thought the Christian character was actually really, really cool, and I appreciated the fact that even once he was revealed to be the kind of the mastermind, he still was his same character. Like, he had his same mannerisms and everything. I thought that was a really cool touch, and he was just funny anyway, especially right up to leading to where he was, taken off the board. They're behind like a giant sealed door, and he's just sitting there talking. He's like, but they can't hear him. So he finally buzzes in the intercom so they can hear him. And it's one of those, oh, he's right behind me, isn't he, type situations. He didn't say that, but he might as well have, because Amelia was behind him. Oh my God. He's such a funny character, bro. Oh my God. Oh, at least I think so. He's just, he's finally he's talking to them, and you see Amelia come behind him, and the people on the other side of the door are all just like looking behind him, and he finally, and then it doesn't show physically him what happens to him, but he he gets ended. I also appreciate that Amelia doesn't seem to be, because right after that happens, she walks onto she opens the gate, and she's right next to the main protagonist group here. And she doesn't, I don't think she's completely bent on just messing people up for the thrill of it per se, because she just walks past them because she wanted to open the black box or whatever it was, or maybe not black box, whatever it's called, the master AI thing. What essentially was like, the only thing that came to mind when she finally did activate that AI that's like all knowing, what have you, it reminds me of Adam and Eve with the knowledge of good and evil, eating it. So now they know all, or they know good and evil, at least. That's what it made me think of. But anyway, it's pretty neat that she just walked past them. It's like, oh yeah, I got a different mission. She didn't just off them, Yeah, the Amelia character is really cool. Anyway, like, she has no issue whatsoever. Just everyone gets beat up in her path. There's no, she's very, what is that called? She's very static, I guess. Like, there's not much emotion shown, and obviously there wouldn't be because she's a robot. But that's why it's in contrast to M3GAN. It's funny that I appreciate both aspects of this, because they're in stark contrast, where M3GAN, like I said, is very extra and has all this extra stuff she does. Amelia, none of that. Straight to the point. Oh, I'm here for this mission. You're in my way. Okay, you're going to get beat up. Which I thought that was fun too. So yeah, really cool character. I really, in terms of, there's nothing that I would recommend that would say, yeah, do this to make it more fun. Like, It is the most fun I had with a film in a long time, which is I'm surprised by. Um, like I said, a couple things that I don't appreciate per se, saying Jesus as a curse word or it, uh, any like abundance of language. I don't think is necessary, or abundance of I guess adult references. Again, in my opinion, I don't think it adds to the movie. That being said, there is someone that is critical. So if you're here for the critical sense, then we did, or for a critical review, I'm not going to give it myself. I do have someone on the line. We added him to the contract. We gave him a contract recently. It's a 2-year contract, so I have to make use of it, even if he is critical. But anyway, once again, let's welcome the resident film critic. All right, well, good to have you back, Michael.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, well, anyway, what did you think of the film?
Well, there were a few flaws here and there, namely that a 14-year-old girl punching a grown man wouldn't have sent him across the room in real life. So, since there were flaws, it wasn't flawless, and it therefore was a flop.
That's your logic? If there are any flaws in the movie at all, it's not flawless, so therefore it's a complete flop?
Precisely that.
Using that logic, no movie ever wasn't a flop in that case.
Not true.
You've seen a flawless movie?
Sure have. And before you ask, no, I'm not talking about one of my films. I didn't want to put all other directors out of business by doing that.
Well, tell me what it is then. What is the flawless movie?
It was, it starts with the do and ends with oon.
Dune?
It's Dune Part 2. That's the flawless film.
You know what? You're not wrong. But besides that, back to this film, what did you think of M3GAN 2?
Well, let me check.
Check what? What are you checking? You're not checking other critics' opinions before forming your own, right?
Definitely not.
Okay, good, because I thought that's what you were doing.
Critics say, I say the movie was terrible.
Don't, come on, man. I wanted to hear your thoughts, not what other critics have to say.
You know what? If you're just going to get mad no matter what I say, then I'm out. Oh, actually, first, I do need to get paid in advance this week. That's
not happening.
Yeah. Anyway.
You got it. Wait. Michael. Not again. We got to do some better vetting for people before we hire them. I'm going to write that down. Anyway, once again, I liked the film. It was a lot of fun. Again, things here and there that I didn't appreciate, but as a whole, it was a fun experience. So that's what I want out of a movie, and that's what I got. So yeah, let me know what you thought, and if you did see the movie. And stay tuned for more reviews and trailer reactions coming soon.